this story right now um, is about what started. I'm going to say what started the Ukraine war, which was 4, 5 straight years of Russiagate. People were told, bombarded with propaganda on a daily basis from every corporate news media outlet, that Russia committed a coup on our country, that Russia overthrew our government, that Donald Trump is an illegitimate president and he's a traitor to our country, working against our own country with Russia. That's what we were told. And it all came from the Hillary Clinton campaign. And here it is. And now we're finding out. Now, we knew they lied about it. So the big thing was the dossier, right? So the Hillary Clinton campaign hired a group called Fusion GPS. And Fusion GPS hired a spy from England, Richard Steele, and he put together the dossier. Now, what happened was so that's called opposition research. So this guy collects all the dirt he can find on Donald Trump, puts it in a dossier, sends it to the Clinton campaign. The Clinton campaign was asked if they paid for that, because that would make it opposition research. They said no. They lied for a year that they paid for that dossier, which started the Russiagate investigation, which started all of this. And it was all made up. And now they're being held account a little bit for it. So here's the headline. The FEC, Federal Elections Commission, fines Hillary Clinton campaign and the DNC for improperly disclosing money spent on the Trump-Russia dossier. And this is from March 30th. The Federal Elections Commission, earlier this month, fined Hillary Clinton's 2016 presidential campaign and the Democratic National Committee for failing to properly report funding on opposition research into the 2017 Steele dossier, which examined former President Donald Trump's alleged links to Russia, none which have been proven. In a letter sent by the FEC to both parties on Tuesday, the agency said that the Clinton campaign, and the DNC improperly reported the money they spent funding the dossier, labeling the spending as legal services and legal and compliance consulting instead of opposition research. The FEC fined the Clinton campaign $8,000 and the DNC $105,000 for the misconduct. Clinton's campaign is still technically in operation. Didn't know that. With more than $181,000 in cash on hand. That's more than enough to pay the FEC fine. A source familiar with the situation told Axios that the FEC commissioners voted 4-2 to approve the fine agreement, with all 3 FEC Democrats voting in favor, along with Republican Commissioner Sean Cooksey. The board's 2 other Republicans reportedly voted against the conciliation. The infamous dossier in question was prepared by former UK intelligence officer Christopher Steele and included a trove of prurient but unverified claims regarding the alleged relationship between Trump and members of the Russian intelligence community, as well as assertions that his campaign colluded with the Kremlin in the 2016 election. While a few allegations were corroborated, which insider Sanad Seth broke down, much of the information within the document has since been refuted or debunked or proven to be complete bullshit. So the dossier is bullshit. Steele has said that he was still investigating and his research was not meant for public viewing, but his memos were leaked just weeks before Trump took office in January 2017. I wonder why someone would do that. Would someone in the intelligence community leak that in order to get an upper hand on Donald Trump? The Clinton campaign and the DNC paid more than $1 million to the law firm Perkins Coie, so that's Hillary Clinton's campaign's lawyer. And then they hired a group called Fusion GPS, and then to do opposition research for them. So Clinton's lawyer paid this group to go do some opposition research, get some dirt on Donald Trump. And then this Fusion hired Steele, and he created the dossier. So now you know the lineage. The Clinton campaign and the DNC did not admit to violating campaign finance laws, according to the FEC letter. However, they did agree to accept the civil fines to settle the matter. So they're doing one of those things where I'm not going to admit my wrongdoing, but I will pay the penalty. And apparently, the FEC is letting them do that. And so I think that's why it passed 4-2 instead of 6-0, because those two Republicans don't want to let them off the hook. They want them to have to admit they fucking lied. Hillary Clinton lies to the FEC and disguises payments for the debunked Trump dossier, collusion Steele dossier, and this is how the New York Times headlines it. Democrats agree to pay $113,000 over campaign spending inquiry. That's their headline. So that's propaganda coming right from the New York Times. Instead of telling you what actually happened, they're using watered down, wishy-washy language so you don't know what actually happened. The FEC has fined the DNC in 2016 for funding the fund. Just to remember of the frauds in the media who amplified these lies. You want to see the frauds who amplified this?
It may be dirty, but it ain't fake.
Is there anything in the dossier that has been disproven?
No, I guess the short answer to the question.
Has anything been soundly
That's a short answer.
About the
What's the long answer?
Steele dossier? And I would agree with Jim Clapper. I haven't seen anything.
Because a lot of these facts have not been disproven.
It's not been corroborated.
So you don't have to disprove a fact. You have to prove the evidence of the fact you're asserting. You can't prove a negative. So that's, again, these are horrible news people.
But it hasn't been disproven either.
The dossier, in fact, is far from bogus.
The dossier is far from bogus. This portion of the dossier hasn't been publicly proven or definitively disproven. But obviously, were it proven true, it would pretty definitively establish extremely involved levels of collusion.
I'm still waiting for...
It's amazing. He goes, we don't have any evidence, but if we did have evidence, it would be amazing. Yeah, but you don't. Yeah, but it would be, and I'm still going to pretend like we have it. That's Chris Hayes. That's the character of Chris Hayes.
Innocent narrative to come out.
Some elements of the dossier have been verified.
None of them
have so far have been publicly disproven.
They've all
To
been
date,
disproven.
none of it has been disproven. And whole big parts of it are holding up.
The dossier holds up well. None of it has been disproven, as you said.
It's a fact that none of it, not one word, has been disproven. In fact, a lot of it turned out to be right on the money.
Now, none of it. None of the salacious things that were in that were true. It was all made up, and Hillary Clinton lied about funding it for a year, and that's the price they have to pay. And you see how the New York Times reports it, so nobody will ever get in trouble.